Hello, hello, hello. I am Fear Agent. Today, I am joined by the one, the only, Walther number 4. Walther, how you doing, dude?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm the one and only number 4, but apparently
That's right.
I'm the fourth at least. So.
Fourth, the only number 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got excellent race today. We're doing doors.
Yeah, beginner's doors. It's definitely a mode.
It is definitely mode. I think that's a great way to explain it. So it's got a standard start. We've got a sword. We've got pseudo boots. You see a little map there in the mirror spot. We can mirror in dungeons using that, kind of necessary because you could get locked out of areas. Yeah, but then it's 7-7 defeat Ganon. So we got to find our crystals. We got to climb, quote unquote, climb GT.
Yeah, could be super fast GT.
Could be super fast, and then we drop down again and kill him. So we're just looking for items. We're not looking for keys. All the keys are still in the dungeons, but there is key drop. So keys will be mixed around.
I do believe we start with the compass to each dungeon as well, so you will know like how many items are in the dungeons and how many keys, which is helpful when it's not key sanity.
Yes, having that stuff is super important. So that's going to be good. But yeah, 2 excellent runners. We got Thelane on the left representing Tam's Triple Potatoepouch Mayhem, and then 2C on the right representing Team Hime. Team Hime at the top of their division, but the division's pretty open as far as who's going to make the playoffs. We are in the second to last week, so we're getting close. But Team Hime's got 7 wins and 3 losses, and Thelane's team has 5 wins, 4 losses, and 1 tie. So still in the thick of it. Anyone's game to win this division.
I think this should be a really good race in terms of execution. I think Thelane and 2C are really well matched up with each other.
Yeah, for sure. Get a bug net. So here's something I learned watching this is if you mirror right when you walk in the door of the dungeon, you'll get bombs, you'll get arrows, you'll get a little bit of magic. So picking up that those pots isn't necessarily necessary, though they did get 3 bombs.
Yeah.
In the chest too. So now it's find your way through the castle. Let's try to find. There's a nice little loop there from left to right. So that's not the direction we want to go.
It's kind of, in some ways, it's kind of nice when you get forced to go a certain way early on. You don't have to make that decision yourself.
For sure.
But then again, if you get bottlenecked into one direction early, that usually means you're gonna get that multi-choice later instead, which can be a lot worse actually.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to be too long of an escape sequence, only 3 keys and 8 items in total here. It's always nice to get that big key early on, in case you find cell to cell.
Yeah, that's the hard part is sometimes ordering stuff you'll find, like you said, something that you can't do. I've seen it where they couldn't get to the back of the escape because they didn't have a bomb or whatever, a key locked it. And they didn't have the key yet, and it was also deep within the dungeon, so it was tough to get to. But
so, what is your position on the super non-controversial fake pseudo boots?
Oh,
everyone is in agreement on.
Yeah, I'm okay with pseudo boots. I have no strong opinions. I enjoy dashing. I feel like when I'm playing seats, the boots are always super late. So I guess give me some pseudo boots. But I just don't have a super strong opinion. I'm whatever. So
it feels like.
Go ahead.
No, it feels like it's just the best of both worlds, but it's also like, kind of like the worst of both worlds.
Sure. Yeah, I agree with that. All right, sword. That's super nice.
Yeah, that's a nice early master sword.
Or if there's any interest in just like mirroring out or saving, or you can't. I don't know if you can mirror, but you can save and quit and start at the beginning. That way, you're not having to go through the kill rooms again.
Yeah, you can definitely save and quit to get back to the beginning, but not mirroring. And we found every item except for Sank so far, so there's
so you're ready. Yeah, it's just
nothing
like,
else you're looking for.
Yep, just get the hell out of this place. It's actually a really short.
Yeah, this
really
this could
castle.
end up being a almost faster escape than a normal escape at this point.
Yeah, we're at 4 minutes now.
It's a nice lock door. And this the tile switching means we're really close to Sank. So yeah, I mean,
yeah,
sub 5-minute escape.
There you go. Exactly what you want. It is funny that there was a locked door right there. All right, so can't do bonk rocks because we don't actually have the boots. But we get a dash, and Thelane's gonna say, "Let's take a look at lumberjack."
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense because you could potentially do Aga like really quickly in this mode.
Yeah, for sure. Like they can go do Aga right now, and it might be beatable. Like you don't necessarily need that lamp. They've got a sword to get through the barrier. So
yeah, the early dungeons in the light world don't have too many requirements to beat.
Yeah, you got
like maybe you need a fire source and a bow.
Yeah. All right, so not much in the Lost Woods. Gonna head into Kakariko and see what we can get. The only thing we got out of Castle was that sword. We see 2 crystals, Desert and Eastern, and then Hera being a pendant. And it's hard indoors because of the way things are mixed up. Like normally Eastern, has 3 items, or Desert has 2 items, but it's all super randomized, so you don't really know what you're gonna get when you go into those dungeons. And that includes Castle Tower.
Yeah, but it's nice to see crystals in Light World because you still want those. Like those are gonna be faster in general and easier to beat.
Yeah,
you want as many crystals there as possible. They get that lamp early now, so now really good odds of being able to beat the Light World dungeons.
Yep, for sure. The interesting thing about beginner doors is I'm surprised we don't start with a lamp. Like I feel like I know it's required for like logic and stuff, but man, there's some times where lamp can be super duper deep.
Yeah,
you're kind of stuck doing some really tough stuff and making some really tough decisions because this is beginner doors, which I'm not we're trying to introduce doors here and trying to make it as easy on the runners as possible. But
yeah, most runners are very like used to dark rooms, but if you don't know what dark room you're walking into in advance, that can be really
it changes
like,
it.
Yeah,
totally. All right, not much so far. That lamp. Does the lamp really direct you anywhere though? It doesn't. Like normally, again, maybe start thinking about Aga, but it's not necessarily required for Aga. We can do Saha, Eastern. I guess we're going to go do South Shore next.
Yeah,
we have no Dark World pieces.
Eastern
yet, right?
really is the only, other than South Shore, it's really only Eastern. The only dungeon you can really get to, except for Aga.
Yeah. But no glove, no hammer, no moon pearl yet. Still coming out of Kakariko.
And check out library. We can't get the item though. Only 20 rupees, so that's fine.
Blind check race game, maybe? Nah, not today.
Can you water walk with pseudo boots?
Great question. I don't. I think you can. I think you can.
Mm-hmm. You do have more than 500 rupees going to South Shore.
That's true. Very good point. But we do need something. I mean, that was a super empty Kakariko.
Yeah.
I think we got like a bottle, maybe.
Yeah, and the lamp. That was like the only thing.
Yeah.
And looks like they're both heading to South Shore, but taking a slightly different route. Maybe this means Susie is heading to Desert after Minimal Derm and the dam.
Well, we don't have the book, so that's gonna be tough. But yeah, maybe do dam into Agina eventually or something.
Yeah.
Picking up nothing in the dam, just the heart container at the flooded spot. Let's see if we got mini molder. Oh, there's our hammer. Okay, so there's piece number 1. So we still need a moon pearl. And then we're gonna head to Ice Rod Cave, and then we'll see how much fake flippering or water walking or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
The lane. That Moldorms are the worst, man.
I mean, hitting minimal derms with bombs sometimes feels like trying to farm like 50-50 bomb drops.
Sure. Yeah. All right, 2C's not doing any water checks, so save and quit there. See if he wants to do dam into Agina, or maybe just head over to Eastern and do Saha Eastern. Yeah, that looks like the play. I think 2C is a little bit more of an aggressive runner than Lane is.
I think that's fair.
Both like super strong runners though, like as far as execution goes. So C is going to take advantage of being able to skip certain things. Not going to talk to Saha.
And heading to Eastern makes a lot of sense because it's by far like the most likely place to get progression right now.
Yeah. So no water walking from the lane either, and he's just in the same direction. So looks like he's going to take a look at the island first.
It makes me think that you can't water walk with pseudo boots because I feel like one of them would have done it.
I think you can. Maybe it's the lack of moon pearl that's stopping them. I don't know. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe you can't. Maybe someone in chat can tell us. All right, so 9 items we see, but 3 of them are keys, and 1 of them is a big key. So 5 items we're looking for here.
Yeah. Better than normal Eastern.
Yeah, for sure.
And even if we do find a bow-locked room, it's not necessarily required that we need the bow anyways, because you could come from like the other direction of that room.
Sure, that makes sense. Die Stalfos. A lot of this looks familiar. Looks very Eastern-like.
Yeah.
All right, chat saying last commentary or last one they watched commentary, so you can't water walk with pseudo boots. Okay, and if they don't have the moon pearl, then and you can't water walk, then it makes sense why they wouldn't waste their time.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
All right, so we've gotten a key and an item. Still looking for Dark World access. I wonder if I know this might seem silly, but I wonder if they're not more incentivized to go do. I guess because Saha's over here, just go do Castle Tower. I feel like all the seeds I've watched, Castle Tower is like pretty much always required, but that's only small bias. All right, there's our big key. Rat upgraded. stole the went from small key to big key.
Yeah, big man. And
Yeah,
find a big key to get a big chest.
Yeah, that worked out. Just some money.
And we didn't have a small key for that. Oh, we're right next to the boss room now.
Oh,
and a mirror. All
okay.
right.
I mean, that
That's a
doesn't do
good
anything
find.
for us right now, right? Like,
No,
not
but it's
until we go to
nice.
the Dark World. But yeah, it's definitely nice to have.
And really nice to have sword beams on this fight. You don't want to use your slashes on this, so having sword beams, because the fighter sword actually does more damage to armors than the master sword does.
Yeah. Yeah. Really good. So we'll get a crystal, we'll get an item. Okay, so that's a key that lets us go through the rest of the dungeon. So I imagine, because we're still looking for Dark World access, 2C and both the lane will both head right back in. The lane with no beams though. And use the hammer.
Yeah, probably a combo of that and maybe some spins as well. But having pseudo boots, they could also go with, like, especially for like some of the later phases here, go for dash pokes.
Oh, okay.
Get the fighter sword damage instead of the master sword.
Yeah. So you shouldn't be slashing them, right? Is that what you're saying? You should be poking them, or no?
Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of the light world enemies are, especially like bosses, kind of act weird against master sword damage
because they're not
supposed to have master sword.
Yeah, yeah. All right, another check here. That's a key. So did he? It says 8 of 9. Did he leave an item there? You got all the keys.
Yeah, the one that they're left behind is the desert torch. Or
oh, I see. I missed.
We saw that super tile, but didn't
see.
have a key to check the item at the moment.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, Thelaine having a bit of a longer fight here, doing a really good job with that hammer, but not having the sword beams definitely cost some time.
Yeah, so in terms of logic, I guess Agina and Castle Tower is the only thing we really have left.
Yeah. Yeah, because we have no way to get to the mountain. Zora's not in logic. Yeah, so I think you're right. There are boots though.
Real boots.
Yeah. Either locked behind a book or mitts and a flute. It's different though. Like when you have pseudo boots, you're not in as big of a hurry to rush those. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, looks like it's Castle Tower.
So what item do you think we're gonna find in Castle Tower to give us progression?
Moon Pearl. It's gonna be Moon Pearl into.
Could be Moon Pearl and just kill Aga.
Yeah, kill Aga and then start going to the Dark World. You got the hammer that will get you to Hype Cave and around.
But now, even to get there, you have to find the exit first.
Right. You can't just. We know if you head left, it takes you right. It's like a paradox where you just. It's a continual loop. You can't do that. But that's pretty quick. Found it.
So we have 4 items in here, maybe 3, because there could still be a big key in here.
I see. Okay.
I believe that's how it works at least.
Yeah. There's 1 key. Regardless, we're gonna find our progression here. Something's gonna be here, or else the seed's broken and we gotta reroll.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate.
Yeah. There's the big key. So you were right. It can be a big key. And this is pretty linear, right? Like,
yeah,
so far
Agatar
they've
tends
done-
to be quite linear.
Yeah. All right, so there's that torch you were talking about. Just 20 bucks
Yeah.
on
Oh,
it.
and right next to the boss room, so you're gonna turn around and try to get as many items as you can first.
Okay. Has there ever been a reroll? No, not that I know of. Not since the early days of Rando.
Yeah, some of the earlier game modes you could like soft lock or like hard lock yourself. But
Yeah, that's like way 2017 days. There's our glove.
glove that gives us mountain and Sora access.
Yeah. And the bow, interesting. I don't think we've seen anything bow locked yet.
Not really, no. But it could be nice to have if you find if you do get the Moon Pearl for. Well, I guess if you do get the Moon Pearl, we have full Dark World access.
Yeah.
So.
But pod could be in theory be clearable, right? Like I mean, it might not even need the bow for pod as far as I know.
Yeah, Pod, Swamp, Skullwoods, and Thieves Town all become kind of awkward in the sense that they're all like changed within each other.
Yeah.
So all of those could have like rooms from Swamp where you need flippers.
Oh, right. Okay, so it looks like that last key is on the boss. Oh no, it can't be on the boss. It's Aga. There's one more key, but that's just locking that door to get nowhere.
Yeah, it
It's
could
like
just
nothing.
be locking itself.
Yeah, so it does nothing. So we're done here. And so yeah, at this point, you've made the commitment. You got to kill Aga, right? Without the Moon Pearl. Moon Pearl could just be on the pyramid for all we know.
Yeah, you still get the pyramid item, so.
All right, so Thulane not too far behind. What? I feel like Tusi's actually done more now. Like he did Agina, which Tusi did, or excuse me, Thulane didn't do. Yeah, I guess it was the Armo skill, right? I think that just
the Armo's fight
Yeah.
is kind of the difference right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but Thulane not doing Aga. Interesting. That's a call.
Yeah, he's gonna head straight up for Mountain. Oh.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean it's not too. It doesn't take too much time to get back there, but yeah, it's definitely an interesting call.
Yeah, let's see what the pyramid has to see if
he only has like 3 items in logic outside of the pyramid, but he's making the right call.
No, because we got the hammer and we got the mirror, so we can go to Paradox, right?
Oh yeah, right. Okay, yeah, then it definitely makes sense, I think, to decide to skip Aga.
That caught him back up though. Tempered sword from the old man. Not bad, not a bad gift.
I think it's definitely one of the strong points of why Rando is so popular is that it's not only execution, it's like decision making and sometimes like making some gambles and stuff like that. Not that I think skipping Aga was necessarily a gamble, but you have to like weigh the upsides and downsides. Yeah,
for sure.
Like, do you always go for the top percent play, or do you like go for off meta play because you know most people might not do it and stuff like that?
All right, what do we got for Hera? So it looks like 4 items probably here, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is a crystal as well. So gonna wanna finish this one if you can. And I think we have everything that we could possibly need to finish this dungeon, right? I don't think there's anything.
Yeah,
that-
there
that
shouldn't
would
be
prevent us.
anything that could stop Flame from completing this.
But you know, like the lane noping out, and if Aga's not required, we see Ice and Meyer as our other pendants. Meyer being green, and then it looked like Swamp and Turtle Rock as our
Yep.
5/6. If Aga's not required, you know, that caught the lane back up, and you know, he might have been feeling it from that fight, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so let's take a chance here that our Moon Pearl is just on the mountain, and we don't need to do this. So
Hera is an interesting dungeon because you have so many different floors, and it can be required to like drop down in the holes as well.
Okay. What do we got here? Another key. So we got 2 more keys out there. Yeah, it's like trying to keep track of that. You got to make sure.
And going up here is gonna take him to the boss room. It seems like an ice rod. Nice to have.
Yeah,
Thank you.
important one. Important one.
Yeah, it looks like Flame realizes that the boss is over there, so it's gonna head the other way for now.
I think
So,
that's the
like,
hard
what
part, is deciding when to, like, if he just goes to the boss, he can go back in for, let's say,
I think
2
it
more
depends
items.
on how deep in the boss is. If the boss is super early on, it doesn't really matter, but yeah, it can be nice to beat the boss early just to see if the boss has like an item or a key.
Yeah. Didn't want to wait for that cutscene. I think that was the end of that run. That run maybe there.
Yeah.
You had nowhere else to go.
And doors in general, it's kind of has the way of making every like dungeon having sort of like an left side swamp where you might have to spend a lot of time to get like one item.
Yeah.
And at some point you might have to make a decision on like, is it even worth trying to find this one item, or should I just spend those like 1 or 2 or maybe even like 4 minutes just doing something else?
So it looks like, is there one more item here in Hera that he
should be
have to find? So do you go back when you're looking for the Moon Pearl, or do you just head over to
See, that's
Spiral,
where that
Paradox
comes into play.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do the other side of the mountain and then always head back, I guess, but did we see the big chest?
I don't think so.
Yeah, because that one should be pretty easy to locate. And if that's not a key, then you're good to go.
All right, so
like here, you can just drop down to the big chest.
I see.
So hopefully that's like not a small key. I get no. Actually, there's 2 chests in here, so you're good either way.
Okay.
No, okay, they get one already. So. And unfortunately, that was the small key.
So I think you need that key to go through the Aga warp room or whatever, where he teleports Zelda out. I think that room is locked. The lower part of that room is locked by a key. I think that might be where the last item is. All right, so 2C picking up his crystal. Both runners with the Eastern and Hera crystals.
Yep.
Let's see if 2C takes off. He might take off. Nope, he's coming back in. Yeah, so you see that door down there is locked by that small key.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that's where that'll lead to our last item here. Double big chest.
Double big chest. I was
All right,
kind of
so-
hoping it was going to be just a vanilla tile room.
That was awful. That one would really stink. All right, so we're out. It's not Hera. Our moon pearl's not in Hera. It's got to be some. Again, we got to find something over here.
Yeah, and at this point, we've seen all dungeons in the light world except for desert, so our runners can kind of start to expect what number of chests and what rooms are going to be in desert.
10 arrows there. 2C about to finish up Hera and head over to where Thelaine is. And we're going to see our progression here in Paradox Cave. Doesn't necessarily mean it's the Moon Pearl. It could be the book. It could be flippers. There's different things. Probably just the Moon Pearl.
Definitely maybe the Moon Pearl.
Definitely maybe. Not in the lower two. Down to 5 checks here. They actually don't have boots. They are using pseudo boots. The boots are on Desert Ledge. All right, we've got 2 checks, Walther.
Yeah.
And we got 1 check, Walther.
It's Zora.
It's Zora. Oh no. Oh, that's rough.
So this is where you really wish that you could water walk with the pseudo boots, huh?
Yeah, for sure. Thelaine's got Agina, so he's going to go do that first.
Yeah, so 2C going to get some of that time back now?
Yeah. I mean, they're going to be just about even, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
And in terms of like items picked up, it's going to be the same as well.
Yeah, it is a good thing, as Chet's pointed out, that they full cleared the dungeons, because you wouldn't have to go back to those dungeons.
Yeah.
All right, so 2C now heading to do some water walking, or some fake flippering, excuse me, because Chet is telling us that you can't fake flipper, or excuse me, you can't water walk with the pseudo boots. So still no Moon Pearl, which means they can't do. If that's true, they can't do.
Yeah, it looks like Thelaine is actually gonna
the vanilla way.
Yeah,
go lift the rock.
Do you think he does a light world current jump here? No. Thelaine is too cool to do that.
Yeah. So normally you go in, go grab that stuff. Can't grab that stuff since we don't have the Moon Pearl, and we didn't fake our water walk. Gosh, I keep getting the two mixed up, but yeah. There is a heart piece on the ledge, and
you know what would be kind of hilarious here?
What's that?
Vanilla flippers.
Vanilla flippers to get the waterfall stuff.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Yeah. To get a book. Like, let's just keep it going. But there is our Moon Pearl, and now we have Dark World access.
All right, so where would one go?
Hype Cave. I think Hype Cave is first up.
Mm-hmm. It looks like 2C agrees.
I was told that the overworld is more important as far as item density, or chances for item progression. I don't know if that's played out this week as I've watched some of these races, but I think going to Hype Cave is the play.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. You want to maximize your chances of having all the items you need before entering a dungeon.
I know nothing. Like, I'm not a doors runner. I've never run one of these beginner doors. I think I'd head to pod from here, though. There's a chance you get locked out because of like the flippers or something, but if I don't want to head left without the mitts, is kind of my feeling.
Yeah, I feel like the only thing with pod is that it's kind of a slow way to get over there, and the only thing you get over there is the dungeon. Yeah. Maybe you want to take like more of a safe bet of like heading to like Thieves Town, because then you still have another dungeon right next to it, and you have the old stuff. Yeah,
I think that's fair. Again, I haven't played this one, so don't take what I say as this is what you should do. A little surprised to see Thelain go in here. I guess he just doesn't want to do a map check.
I think maybe he doesn't realize that he can do a map check.
Yeah, that's a possibility. All right, so both my runners agree with you heading left. So we'll end the run here. Or we'll mirror here out of Dig Game and then head up to VOO. No Fire Rod, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we can't be Moth.
Yeah.
With Meyer being a pendant, there's a decent chance we don't see the flute either. Oh, 2C's got the save and quit here. Okay.
Or maybe he'll just take the support. He'll just head to pod then instead.
Yeah, I like that. All right, so I think we will see some divergence then, because Thelain's got the mirror out already, so I imagine a mirror to go to Thieves Town. Yeah, he's continuing on, so
that's going to be the first real divergence we see in this.
Yeah.
Other than like killing Aga, I guess.
So let me see. It's Pod, Thieves Town, Skullwoods, and Swamp. Those are all mixed together, right?
Yes.
So the real kicker here would be flippers for any of these dungeons.
Some of the rooms in Swamp where you normally would need flippers might not require flippers. We can do a super early boss here as well. It's kind of nice.
Oh.
So you can at least get the crystal.
Yeah, it's gonna take us right down to.
I think the middle door is gonna be the boss in the first room.
Okay.
So the flashing light means that the boss is in the like next super tile.
Yeah.
And since two of those entrances or rooms are stairs and one is just a normal room, you would have to take like the normal room in order to get to the boss.
Okay, that makes sense.
Where Moldorm would be like the other way around. The stairs would lead to the boss.
Right. Okay, so 16. We see 16 over there. Oh, this is important find, right?
Yeah, this is a really good find. Now, whenever 2C heads to Thieves Town, we'll actually be able to beat it.
So it's going to be a single dip for him, right? Like if it, in theory, because he's not going to have to come back. Like if Thelain goes immediately to Thieves Town after this, which I imagine he's going to do.
Yeah.
It will be a required double dip because he's got to to blow the hole in the attic there.
Double boss kill at the same time here, but different bosses.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. So both runners, three crystals.
Yeah.
Different crystals, but
Yeah, we're gonna need what? Mitts, fire rod, and hookshot for sure. Most likely a cane as well. Maybe no flippers.
I mean, oh yeah, Turtle Rock is the only one. Well, Turtle Rock, you do need a cane, right? Like I think the first room is always the same, so you need the cane to
Oh
get
yeah,
through there.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
There's no entrance, so you have to start with the first entrance.
yeah, yeah. So we do need the cane. We might not ever get those boots with Desert and Meyer being a pendant. All right, so 16 checks there over there in Schoolwoods, but 8 of them are keys, and one of them is probably the big key as well. So
yeah,
not as many checks. Only 5 keys for pod, 6 with the big. Looks like Thieves and Swamp might actually be a little bit denser.
Yeah, and 16 checks might seem like a lot, but it's key drop as well. So
yeah,
so it's not actually like 16 chests. It's not.
Yeah.
Skullwoods is not like a big Ganes tower here.
Right. I've from what I've seen, it feels like these dungeons, specifically these 4 pre-Mitts ones, are usually double dipped. Like it just feels like you have to like kind of come back to these dungeons more often than not, and maybe that's why there's you're de-incentivized to go to pod, because it really sucks to get back there.
I think it makes sense because you can get to them early, but usually don't have like maybe too many items at that point.
Yeah.
To see finding a lot of like big lobbies that are branching paths here, it's kind of awkward because if all of those have like long branching paths, that can be quite annoying.
For sure. Yeah, so we do need a medallion for Turtle Rock. We got Quake somewhere. I think that was in Skullwoods. Yeah. We do need Fire Rod for sure, because we got to kill Trinex.
And Hookshot for Argus.
Right. So we're still and we need mitts, of course. We haven't found those yet. So there's like a fire rod lock room, but it's not really fire rod locked because you just walked in and walked out, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to take a look at VOO from Thelane, see if we can get anything here. It's only the second small key.
They got a nice chest turn there, but unfortunately also missed the chest turn, so loses all of those cool points there.
Yeah. All right, so we've seen some flipper spots in pod. I don't know how much they're locking though. So there's 3 keys left. So is there only 1 item left here? Oh man, look how early blind is in that dungeon.
Yep. That's kind of nice actually. Yeah, it looks like he's gonna Flame's gonna be forced to go only one way here. We've seen one of the items, or like one of the spots for the items for Tuesday here is hookshot locked, because it was the lobby where
the swamp one.
Chest, yeah.
All right, don't want to hit that switch just yet. All right, so I don't think 2CA was able to get everything out of that dungeon. I think it's just one item, but it looks like it's either hookshot or flippers locked. I'm not sure which one. So he's gonna. Oh, there's the flippers.
All right, nice.
Under the pot.
Yeah, it's really nice to have.
Yeah.
It's a weird item in this mode because it's like not necessarily even required. Oh, mitts,
and the mitts
definitely
too.
required.
Yeah.
All right, so feast on paying off big here.
About this mode is like it screws with the ideas of what you need for dungeon clears or what you're normally used to. But since Swamp is a crystal, we need that.
Lane is gonna get disappointed here. Yeah, bringing the maiden, but he has not on the roof. So
if he takes the maiden north, it will tell him where the room is, right?
What if you try to leave the dungeon?
Oh, I don't know. I saw there was a way to like trigger the maiden telling you where the attic is, but I'm not sure how you do it.
Yeah, no idea. At least he knows in which dungeons. Like it can't be in any of the later ones, at least. In Falane's mind here.
Oh, you just walk into the room? Did maybe I don't know, maybe it did pop up. I didn't see it.
Okay, yeah, he only popped in really quickly and then left. So.
Okay, so
and then he walked into a dead end that he had already found as well. So that makes me think that he was like maybe slightly flustered there.
Can the maiden swim? She can. Awesome. Good for her. All right, so there's one more key that Thelane has. Only 4 keys here.
And 2C in Feast Time as well now is going to get mitts and flippers and
be
able to beat the boss. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't have the big key yet though. Man, this dungeon is, from what we've seen so far, super confusing if you're not tracking it. Like the back and forth of where everything is, man, would be tough for me to follow. I think that's one of the reasons why I'm not playing Doors. Even with the tracker, I feel like I'd have a hard time putting a piece in it all
I'm
together.
glad this is not a co-op week, because trying to explain the routes in the dungeons would be...
Oh, yeah. Don't give them any ideas, Walter. All right, there's the big key for 2C. All right, so Thelane's out. Exchange the maiden for a frog. Here's the flippers for 2C. So what are we looking for? We're still looking for Fire Rod. We're looking for the hookshot. We're looking for Cane of Samaria.
Yes. Ice Palace is open now. No, actually, it's not, because we don't have. We need Bombus or Fire Rod.
Yeah,
actually.
Fire Rod. Yeah. We've got the mountain. We got 2 chicks on the mountain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Super funny. Always fun. All right. Heart piece from the frog. Thelane going to take that purple chest. 2C going to fight blind here.
Yep.
This could be progression. The hook shot would be the next big one.
Yeah, I guess we have Blaine might jump into Swamp after turning in the chest here. It's taking the portal, so most definitely doing that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I didn't see the item, but it's not one of the items marked on his tracker. So
Yeah, it was just a small key on the boss.
okay, all right. And it looks like 2C's done. Got his mitts, got his flippers, nothing on purple chest.
Yeah, I like that. You get good items and a pretty fast dungeon. Just leave it for now.
Yeah, so we've got flippers now. So it makes sense to come here even without that hook shot, because we saw some of the hook shot. I mean, you can't kill Argus with the hook shot, but we saw some of the swamp rooms in, I think, Thieves Town and Pod. So Thelane hasn't seen all of them, but so not as big of a deal. There's a small key. That's got to be a small key with that only door being right there for us to continue on.
Yeah. And heading down, I think this is the same super tile, so heading down here should give him 2 items or 2 chests.
Okay. All right, so there's an early big key. Mock down for 2C.
Yeah, super fast boss fight there from 2C.
Yeah, got the Quake. I imagine there's still a bunch of items here. He's got to think about going back in. I don't know, maybe he heads to Swamp too. No, he's going back in.
Yes, so Skullwoods and Desert and Tartarok are kind of like weird in this game mode because they have multiple entrances.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have like one entrance that is basically like just one room, or you can have like one entrance has more or less the entire dungeon.
Interesting. All right, so 2C cleaning up some stuff that we saw from Thelane earlier. Thelane in Swamp, though, this is the pod maze inside Swamp Palace, because we are playing doors. And we're looking for... Oh, that was interesting. Oh, there's the book.
All right, so could do a pendant desert and get real boots after this. I think Thelane,
that's
was Thelane the one who checked out the boots?
No. Well, I don't know if Thelane went there when he went to Agina. I think 2C might be the only one that knows about those boots right now.
Well, either way, I think just because where Thelane is, and that Thelane is not aware that Desert is a pendant, seems quite likely he'll head over to Desert after Swamp Palace.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So only 2 items left in the dungeon for Thelane, one of them being the boss. So only 1 chest that he can find for an item.
I'm glad you're here to keep track, better track than I could. I don't know any of this stuff.
Well, I'm not gonna promise that everything I say is true, but
it's gotta be closer than what I say.
I'm not gonna lie on purpose, at least. I promise.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you would never. All right, so Catfish is a new check. We haven't seen this, I don't think.
Yeah, you can mirror and the waterfall.
Yeah, and then finish up those water checks. So looks like just the book out of Desert. We don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Bombos tablet. Not much. There's our hook
Ooh,
shot.
okay.
Oh
That's-
no, that's bad for
That's
the lane.
big.
Yeah.
It's kind of out of the way at this point.
Yeah.
Like maybe you pair it together with Ice Palace, but you would need incentive to go there at that point.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Pod is now. Well, I guess he doesn't need to go back to Pod because he killed the boss. So forget that. Swamp is
full
good.
clearable, yeah.
So we're just looking for Fire Rod, Samaria for Turtle Rock, and those could just be up on the mountain now that we've got.
Hookshot definitely makes the mountain better. I'll imagine that 2C does swamp before the mountain.
Yeah, because you just do swamp and then head up to the mountain and maybe you just be in go mode up there. You know what I mean?
It could be, yeah.
All right, so the lane and desert. Can I pick up his boots? Boots may be required. We don't know.
Yep. I mean, the biggest win with picking up the real boots now is that it's not going to feel as awkward when you bonk, right?
Right. That's the
it's
real
gonna
win.
feel right bonking now.
I mean, so just as far as the race goes, 2C's got a pretty commanding lead with both Pod and Thieves Town done, right? Like, and then he's going to be able to single dip Swamp Palace as well.
Yep.
Oh, there's Ether. So I'm just trying to think of some outs for the lane here.
Well, it's quite possible that 2C skips desert and just heads up for the mountain after this.
Yeah.
So anything being in desert would definitely be good for Flame.
The problem is the lane needs to get to Waterfall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Ether blocking out Turtle Rock might be okay. Really, honestly, like Kane, I think would probably be better. Or Fire Rod or something. Like, let's say Quake and Samaria are up on the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, all three
okay.
medallions here.
Well, this is gonna push Flame to Ice Palace.
Yeah.
So that might give Flame his hook shot as well.
Yeah, for sure. And maybe that gets him the Fire Rod too, because that is a thing.
Yeah.
All right, so where are we at? Looking at, can't open that door, right? So that's just you're just locked out there. Yep.
But hey, at least you had real boots bonking into that
right
shut door.
Got a real bonk out of it. All right, so looking for Kane, looking for Fire Rod, looking for Argus right now on 2C side. The lane still has 2 items here in desert, so
and I think he's on a path to find them here now.
Yeah.
Nice remembering that block, because normally you don't go backwards in these rooms ever.
All right, so there's Argus for 2C. And he might just be in like, let's get out of dungeons, right? Like, fetch quest. So 2 items left in here. See if he wants to stay for them. And the last item here in desert is Tao Room, of course. We hadn't seen this in all the other Light World dungeons, so it had to appear at some point.
Yeah, it had to be in this dungeon because of all the Light World dungeons being mixed up with each other.
Yeah.
You can definitely keep count on that, but in a race scenario, it can be kind of awkward, or like it's not the highest priority to keep count on.
Right. All right, so Samaria or Fire Rod is what we're looking for. Is Slane going to find it here? He is not. It's also not here in Swamp Palace. One item left.
And it's going to Sank.
Yeah, where is this? Kingstown maybe? Or Bonk Rocks?
Oh, yeah, Bonk Rocks, Kingstown. Yeah, it makes sense. I think if Verlaine heads Ice Palace after this, I would imagine him to do Waterfall before Ice Palace. Just in case of like you need King of Samaria in Ice Palace or something like that.
If he finds, but okay, so let's say he heads towards Ice and he does Waterfall first, which is a perfectly good route. Does he then skip out on doing Ice and then just clear the dungeons that he can clear? Does he start the thing is,
Verlaine is not aware that Ice Palace is pending, so he probably just heads straight into Ice.
Right, he didn't check his map.
Yeah. And Tusi is gonna go check the tablet at the very least. Have some knowledge of the boots, so might dip into Desert a little bit to at least get the boots.
That's another one of those things, the good and the bad of pseudo boots is like, if you didn't have pseudo boots, you're definitely grabbing those boots. But now that you have pseudo boots, do I necessarily need those boots?
Yeah, and then you go into Desert and you see it's like, okay, it's 4 items in here. Might be a fast dungeon to do. Maybe I'll just full clear this as well.
Yeah.
And
so it looks like
probably good for Tusi if it decides to full clear this, because they get 2 medallions.
Yeah. All right, so it looks like Thelane's gonna do Pyramid Catfish and maybe get his hookshot then.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a more Hondo mindset of doing Waterfall before Ice Palace. Because now you get, Pyramid and Catfish as well.
And we don't have to worry about Pyramid Fairy because our 5/6 is, one of them is Turtle Rock, and those are the last 2 items that we need. So
yeah.
All right, so I was wondering if 2C just leaves after the boots, but he's not. He's continuing back in. I think with the two items, possibly 3, with only having 1 medallion, right? Like, I think this is more of a safe play.
Yeah, it's a short enough dungeon that you're probably not spending too much time in here searching for the items.
And getting back here just sucks.
Yeah, if you're leaving now, you're not coming back.
Yeah. So there's Ether. There's the hook shot for Thelane, and now he's got to be thinking about, all right, let's just go finish these dungeons now.
Yeah, saves and quits, so maybe he's going to go for a finishing up Swamp and head to Pod.
Yeah, that makes sense. It looks like he's doing Pod first. He hasn't been to Pod at all.
Maybe this might be Ice Palace. No, he's going straight for Pod.
Yeah, he hasn't been to Pod at all. So I think now that he's got all of the things that are required to beat Pod.
Yeah. And 2C was not able to full clear Pod. Was able to beat the boss, but didn't get every item in here.
Right. Because it was like he needed the hook shot or something, or flippers or something, right?
Yeah.
All right, so the lane makes his way over to pod. 2C gonna finish up desert. I don't think there was anything else here. I think the lane got everything out of here, right?
Yes. 2C is on the same route and gonna end up with the tide room as the last check here.
Oh, right. Then he's gonna regret coming back in.
Yeah.
But I think he probably knows, right? We've been in all. This is the last of the light road dungeons.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the lanes out here is the checks in pod that 2C wasn't able to do, right? Like if it has Samaria, it has
that
Fire
would
Rod.
definitely that could make or break this for Flame.
Right, because 2C is going to go do other dungeons like Ice before coming back to pod.
If you were in 2C's position now, would you head up the mountain or would you go for Ice Palace?
No, I'm going to the mountain.
The late dungeons we have left here, Ice Palace, Meyer, Tutrock, and GT, are all randomized within each other, so
Yeah,
they can be kind of long sometimes.
yeah. I know it's an extra mountain trip, but I don't know. I feel like I'm going up to the mountain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not even sure which one I would pick at this point.
Or 2C's going to at least do the boots checks here, since you just picked up those boots.
And did 2C ever check Desert? Or, I mean, Lumbriac? I know Flame did.
Yeah, I think
2C has killed Aga.
Yeah, I don't know. That's an hour ago, Walther.
Yeah.
I have the memory of a goldfish. Looks like he's not heading that way, because otherwise you do it in the reverse order.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right, so we haven't seen this check here, which is just a key. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But that's obviously locking something.
Yeah, I think it was maybe 2 items that 2C left behind here. At least one. We also have that the locked door that normally leads you to the vanilla big key chest in Swamp that Flame can get to with the hookshot that 2C wasn't able to get.
All right. Mountain time.
Yes, you get what? Minimum 7 items up here. The tablet, the hookshot cave, and the super dummy.
Yeah. Tablet I forgot about. Yeah. Yeah. So the lobby of Turtle Rock is locked by Samaria, so there's no reason to go in.
Yeah.
But if we find Samaria, then I think we gotta head in.
Yeah. Oh, that's very unfortunate, Ballmaster.
Oh. With the full bonk animation too, right?
Yeah, yeah. Would that Wallmaster have missed Filane if he had pseudo boots on?
Maybe. Maybe. All right, so nothing on the tablet. Let's see what medallion was needed for desert, like, or for Turtle Rock. Did we not even need to go into desert? Was it just Quake the whole entire time?
Yep.
It was Quake. All right. GG.
But hey, Bombas could still be valuable.
Yeah. We still might need to go in Ice Palace to get that fire rod. So it's super possible. All right, take 2. No wall master here. Bombs. $20. 10 arrows. And a bottle. 2 more checks. Can't even do Spike Cave, right? There's no... I guess you could if they've got some fairies.
Yeah.
But it's not...
Flame, he has a fairy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
There's their fire
rod.
All right, so Samaria go mode for 2C.
So you get to go mode Tartarok, which could be super good if the sometimes the boss is super early.
Mm-hmm. What about the back of Skullwoods? Is that something? Did we get everything out of Skullwoods?
I'm pretty sure Fellaine did not get everything, at least. I'm not sure how many items were left. But yeah, back of Skullwoods could definitely be a thing.
What's 2C doing?
Back of Skullwoods, maybe?
Yeah. I don't think he did the Smith chain, so he's got that available to him.
Fair.
But he is going to Skullwoods. Okay. I think at most it's like 1 item, right?
Yeah, I'm actually a little bit surprised heading here instead of Ice Palace. But
yeah.
Ice Palace is most likely a much longer time commitment.
Sure.
But you get more items, so... Alright, so yeah, 6 of 16, but a lot of them are small keys.
Yeah, there's still 5 small keys. I think we already got the big key. So that's what? 5 items?
Yeah, sounds about right. And I think they got all of the items that are close to the drop downs in the forest, but otherwise that can be a play as well, because you know where you're gonna fall down.
All right, so there's the pod crystal for the lane, catching up. Still a couple crystals behind. Now doing the map check. All right. I think he realized after he hasn't found any maps and compasses this entire time.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see if we get a nice bomb jump here from 2C. Nicely done.
And then back in the same room.
What's nice about Thieves Town for the lane is the boss is literally in the front. So,
yeah.
But he's got to go pick up the maiden, right?
Yes, but then he can mirror back to the front again, like he did last time, but this time it's going to work.
Right. TC trying to piece everything together here. Just on a Samaria hunt now. And the way it's going, it feels like this is definitely 2C's race to lose, because he's ahead in both items and dungeon clears, crystals.
Yeah.
And seems to be on the path to get Samaria. Like, he hasn't skipped anything that would give the lane time to really catch up.
Yeah, his sequence of going through the seed has definitely paid off a lot more than Flane's.
Yeah.
Now Flane getting the small keys, there's still one more item inside here. Which I think that 2C got, but I'm not sure.
He might have left an item in Thieves Town. I can't remember.
Yeah, actually, I think 2C left Thieves Town quite early. After beating the boss.
Well, we're not seeing it from Thelaine, so
Yeah, it looks like Ice Palace. No,
Swamp.
okay,
Swamp.
yeah,
Finish
Swamp
off Swamp.
first.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Because he only has the boss left in Swamp.
That's not Samaria. Still 3 items here in this giant Skull Woods. The back has been huge.
Yeah. And it's that chest, right? I think. Maybe not. That could be in another dungeon, I guess.
Yeah, that's the tricky part. Was learning that you see the pod big chest, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's in pod, like in the dungeon that you're in. But okay, this one is here. That is the big key.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
Oh, so we got at least one big chest in Skullwoods. I'm not sure if we saw more.
Interesting. All right, gonna see if it's in one of the big chests. If one of many, maybe possibly of Skullwoods. I think only one. It's this front one. Yeah. Does the big chest contain Samaria? It does not. And there's still one more item, right? If there's a key and 2 items, it still means there's 1 item left, right?
Yeah. Yeah, this is that scenario I was talking about earlier, that like, how much time do you commit to try and find that last item? Or do you just go skip that and go do something else?
Mm-hmm. All right, 2C has caught up to the lane, and he's now heading to Ice Palace, which I think might have Samaria.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Like, 2C it has really been avoiding Ice Palace, like going back and full clearing the other dungeons instead.
Yeah, the thing is, if he finishes off, so for Thelaine, Samaria is not his go mode. He still needs a fire rod as well. So I imagine he stays in Ice Palace, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
But
if he finds Samaria, in here, like, he's definitely heading for the mountain after this.
Yeah, for sure. The question then we're gonna get to 2C is like, when does he get to Ice Palace?
So for Thelaine, then it would be beneficial if the cane is really deep in Ice Palace, and the other way for 2C.
All right, so there's a small key.
Right, this is good for Thelaine. This should be the same super tile, so there's 4 items on the other side of the door here.
Okay.
No Kino Samaria though, so has the bomb.
Yeah. Oh no! Oh no!
Well,
that was unfortunate.
We still have 4 bombs left at least. All right, there's the cane, and quite early in the dungeon. We'll see how long Fellaini decides to.
I mean, he's got to stay,
here.
right? You're in Ice Palace with. Oh no, locked himself out. Okay, so we're on a timer, right? So once 2C gets to Ice Palace, he's gonna have that. King of Smarty's gonna be in go mode. Can Fellaini get out of Ice Palace and up on the mountain before 2C can get to that cane? Is the question.
And whenever 2C hits that crossroads of inside of Ice Palace with like 3 different new directions to go in, does he go down or does he pick another route?
Yep.
Because that could lead him into a rabbit hole of like finding the cane quite late.
Right. I mean, we got ourselves a race. It's definitely a race here. Both.
I'm thinking 2C. Surely he heads to Ice Palace after the purple chest.
Right? Yeah. The lane's got to get out of ice and up on the mountain, and I just don't know if that's going to happen soon. Because you see how many items are here?
Yeah,
it's a lot.
But it's going to be about the same in Turtlerock as well, like number of items. But yeah, you don't want to go all the way up to Turtlerock trying to full clear it, only to find out that you have to like go back to Ice Palace again.
Right. All right, so with where 2C is, and he's just dashing from the purple chest. This is definitely Ice Palace. So
yeah,
it's like we've reversed the clock now. The clock is now off the lane. Get out of Ice Palace, the lane. I know that's a tall. It's a lot to ask. But that's his chance right now is he has to get out of there like ASAP.
It might be, you know, like Fellaini headed back in, and but maybe like the next dead end, maybe he only has like 5 checks left, and then it's a lot more like feasible to just leave. Because 5 of these total 18 checks are small keys still.
Fire Rod was in Super Bunny, so.
Wait, oh, no, okay, semi-quitting, so.
We've got a race. If this is the mountain, he's in the lead.
He's definitely in the lead now.
Oh, wow.
But it's going to be a very, I think 2C is still in the lead.
Oh, yeah. He's going to get the Mario right here.
Yeah, they're about tied at this point, honestly.
Yeah. It's going to be the last check that Fellaini gets. He's going to do the tablet. He's going to open up Turtle Rock. He's going to do Spike Cave. And then he's going to do Super Bunny and be in go mode.
Yep.
So, whereas 2C has to mirror out because he can't save and quit because he did kill Aga, or else he'd be on top of the pyramid. So he's gonna save and quit, start it in the mountain. He's already got it open. So that does give him a bit of a lead. But yeah, this is I mean, it's still a race, right? Like,
for sure.
We got to figure out our way through Turtle Rock. We got to figure out our way through GT. It could be free, or it could be a mess. And it's who, you know, do you go left or right through the door? And does that door take you down a rabbit hole? You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely, we're definitely close.
In a scenario like this, if you feel like you're in the lead, do you meta game like does most people head right or does most people head left as their choice in a like a 50-50 road split or something like that?
Yeah. Love it though. I'm glad that it's close. That's what I want, you know?
Yeah,
it really felt like
Like what? Maybe 30 seconds or at
Maybe
most
45
a minute.
minute. Yeah, a minute. Yeah.
It's only for 13 okay, yeah. Super early boss here in Tartrak. It's gonna be just up here. No? Okay. He has to go back down and then probably take the right here and then up.
All right, Thelaine is in go mode. So I think if you're rooting for Thelaine, you want a little bit of a longer dungeon, possibly with more options to.
We still have GT, which can be a big mess.
For sure.
Like GT literally starts with like pick one of these 3 paths to take.
Right. Yeah. That is crystal, or it's going to be crystal number 7 here for 2C just shortly. The lane not too far behind.
Don't you wish Tartar Go mode was always like this?
I know. So it's a Trinex. Well, the difference is a Trinex skill. That's the difference between our 2 runners. Look at this, Walter. What a race. All right, opening up GT. Do we need a big key? Probably not, right?
Probably not, no.
Let's see how many checks we've gotten here. This you're just basically looking for keys, right? Like if you need them, there's 9 keys.
Yeah, and only 15 checks, so it's not too of a big dungeon here. And hookshotting over here and then taking the exit is definitely one of those routes that can mess you up if you don't think about it.
Yeah. Like, what if you just went to the left door? Does that take you somewhere else, right?
Yeah. So hookshot could be required for that room, only for that. So 2C went in the middle, right?
I didn't see. I'm sorry. Yeah, because
they're picking different paths at least. And 2C picked the right path.
Wow.
Okay, 2C went right. Yeah.
Okay. And that's it, right?
Most likely. I mean, yeah. 2C would need to definitely mess up at this point.
Yeah. And here, look at, you're in a kind of a wild goose chase here. And it did really come down to like left or right. And 2C chose Hope Room and the lane chose DM strats, basically, if the rooms weren't mixed up. Really good race though between their two runners.
Yeah, it's been a very entertaining seed, and like the execution has just been really good from both the runners. Like doing doors, it like messes with every sense of muscle memory and like test like your reaction and game knowledge. So it can kind of throw you off at sometimes, but hasn't been too noticeable for both of these runners.
All right, so no silvers, not a big deal. Lots of places that the other bow could have been. This is, I feel like, a relatively quick time for doors that I've seen compared to some other runs.
Yeah. I actually have no idea what the normal time for a door seed is.
Well, like my team, Beer and Flippy versus Flippa last night was over 2 hours. So you just, I guess you just never really know. So it looks like Flame is on his way, but unfortunately for his team, 2C is about to wrap up Ganon here. You're a fan of Team Hime, you gotta see it. They're had a really strong run so far. Couple of small hiccups here and there, but we'll stay atop the division with this win. Go and get your GGs in chat for 2C and Team Hime. Gonna pick up 3 points here as we head into the final week.
Yeah, it was a really strong run from 2C. Like, even deciding to skip Ice Palette for so long.
Yeah, King Go mode was actually worked out pretty well for him, so. Go and get your GGs in chat for the lane. He's gonna put in the forfeit here. Looks like he's gonna fish out the seat, but did put the DNF in the race room. See if we can get these guys in here to chat. Looks like we're joined by Thalane and today's winner, 2C plus. 2C, Thalane, GG's guys.
Yo, GG's.
GG.
Played that one really well. It's hard for me to ask questions about this mode because I don't really get it, but I think you guys had a pretty good understanding of things. How did you guys both kind of feel about the run?
I got a little bit confused there at the end, not gonna lie, with Scouts and Thieves Down when I revisited. But I don't know, I got lucky, I think, with Sumaria being in Ice Palace. Because I did leave one item in Scouts and Thieves Down, and I didn't want to like get out of the mess, honestly. Like, remembering where everything is and stuff. I don't know, it's a little bit confusing, honestly.
Yeah, you both had different go modes. The lanes was Fire Rod, and 2C yours was Samaria, which ended up kind of working out for you. But it was super close. It was like, I think 45 seconds going into GT between the two of you. And 2C, I think you went to the right, and Thalane, you went to the left. And that ended up, being quite a big difference there. So I don't know, Thalane, how did you feel during the run?
So overall, I would agree with 2C. I think I felt pretty okay for most of the run. I've also felt like I checked a little bit too much in general, like pyramid, catfish, and that kind of stuff. And then also in the early dungeons, I felt like I cleared a little too much, but then it also made sense to me because we were still looking, or I was still looking for that Moon Pearl. Right,
yeah, you both got to the Moon Pearl. I mean, there was no other locations between. I think everyone full cleared the game.
Yeah, and then what I usually don't do is look at Desert Ledge, but this time I did, and that kind of saved the run for most part. I feel like, because boots, are nice. I mean, we also have pseudo boots, so it's not that big of a deal. But then I think there was also bombos in desert, which got me Somaria, and then I could conveniently go up to the mountain without having to go up the mountain, get Somaria, and then go back up again. So that worked out okay, but still feel like I cleared a little bit too much. But overall, I feel like it was alright. Didn't feel too bad.
Yeah, I think you both played it well. There was a couple of divergences. I think the first big one was not only divergence. I think the Armos fight created a little bit of buffer for 2C with he going in with the sword beams, and you had to do it with the hammer, just a bit slower there. And then 2C, you decided to kill Aga and Thulane left.
Yeah,
That
I don't know,
again,
honestly.
yeah,
Yeah.
that kind of like switched things back. It was really going back and forth. You guys are up on the mountain at the same time, and then you go through Paradox and you don't get anything, right? Like I think the glove was in Aga to get
Nagato, yeah.
yeah, to get the Moon Pearl off of Zora. But so it felt like you guys were going both in the Dark World at the same time. And again, the divergence was Thulane, you chose Thieves Town, Skull Woods, and 2C you went to Pod. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell because there's so much going on between the two. You both played it really, really well.
Yeah, I'm surprised myself, honestly. I thought this would go way worse, but then it kind of wasn't too difficult. I guess it's also thanks to like a couple of crisscross like multi-worlds and stuff. Like half a year ago, whenever we did that quite a bit, and then this is like an easier version, right? Because you kind of know what rooms you're looking for. You know which dungeons they could be in, so it's not as difficult. But yeah, I mean, it's still challenging anyway, right? Because you don't know what room is going to be the next. So you don't know, should I be on hook? Should I be on hammer? Where do I dash? Where do I, like hold my D-pad? So it's always a little bit tricky. But I feel like everyone has that issue, right? Because you can't know.
Yeah, it's rough for sure. Definitely a lot of awkward dashes and stuff. But yeah. It's honestly, if I have to like say one thing, I guess for the end game, I don't think I've ever had a better GT in my life.
Yeah.
Like, not only did I go right side, I even like hook shot it across Laser Bridge. Not Laser Bridge. What was it?
Meyer Bridge. Yeah.
And I think honestly that might have been like the fastest way to get to Aga too. Which, yeah, I think I got super lucky there.
Yeah, I think maybe it's your Turtle Rock and what GT, like 12 screens combined, maybe.
For sure, yeah.
Not many.
I'm not gonna be surprised, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, Magno already told me in DMs it mainly came down to GT routing, right? Because I was going left, as Fear said earlier, and then wandered around there for a little bit before I decided, you know what, let's go back to the entrance. Check the other staircases, maybe it's like right there, and then I went right next, and then the boss was right there. I was like, oh, okay, that's not too bad, but I guess it's not enough, huh?
No, it was I was close. I think you needed GT and Turtle Rock to be a little bit bigger so that there was time for 2C to get lost a little bit. I mean, he definitely had a little bit of a lead going in, about 45 seconds. And since he was able to beeline exactly with the bosses. It just sort of eliminated your chances there. But it was close. It was really close. It was going back and forth.
I mean, it was like 2 minutes at the end, right? Like when Aga 2 died, he was done. So that's like about 2 minutes, maybe a little bit more, 2 minutes, 10 seconds.
Yeah. So, so 2C, your team is actually clinched for the playoffs already. This will help with seeding. Got to be feeling good as you head into the final week here, knowing that you're already clinched.
Yeah, positive record since like maybe 3 seasons ago or something.
8-3 right now, so that's got to be feel pretty good. Thulane, you guys are still right there. If the season ended right now, you'd still be in the playoffs. But you got a couple games left. Are you feeling okay about things?
About my performance, not so much, honestly. But
yeah,
those were a bunch of very unfortunate losses. To be quite honest, it was always close. So not feeling too bad, or like not beating up myself too much about that. Sure. And then we also had that tie. I think it was Magno against someone from the other team. So yeah, we'll see how. Or actually, it was both of my teammates. It was a cold week, right?
Yep.
That tie is crazy because it was cross kiss as well. It's like, what are the chances? Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts. You guys have one more game this week. Who's playing that one?
I think it's Borgo and Ravis.
Okay.
Maybe on Friday is what I heard. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it looks like
Yeah.
it's the 28th at 1 p.m. Eastern, according to the schedule. So, and then you got one more week with co-op randomizer. So still plenty of opportunities to lock up that spot.
How many teams advanced out of each division?
Four.
Is it four? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe we have a chance then. Then I'm not too worried.
Yeah,
But
right.
we'll
Like I
see.
said, if it ended today, it looked like you guys would be that fourth spot, though. It looks like it might come down to you. You're playing Noble Foxes the final week. It might come down to those two matches. As far as
So
the
I think,
tiebreaker goes.
yeah, and they haven't played yet this week, so
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Either way, it's always fun to come back to League. This time we have a lot of wacky modes.
Sure.
So-
And it's just fun just to be in the thick of it, right? Like it's not over. You still have a chance, and going into the final week, you know, you can solidify that. So pretty cool. Glad to have you in the league, Delane. Always appreciate when you're around.
Thank you. And also, thank you guys for commentating. And thanks for the race 2C and people watching. Always appreciate people spending time with this hobby.
For sure.
Yeah. Thank you for the race and obviously the restreams and other stuff. I was very excited to see both you, Walther, and Fear on cons.
Yeah, that was a pleasant surprise for sure.
Yeah, we signed up early when we got this one. So, yeah, so GG's to you both, and good luck in your final race and the final week and the playoffs for Hime and possibly for Thelane's team as well. Walter, you got any other questions or anything you want to ask the guys?
Not really. But were both of you aware that you couldn't water walk with the pseudo boots?
I wasn't 100% sure. I didn't want to risk it because in the back of my head I remembered it's not possible, but I wasn't 100%. It was more like 85% sure I can't, so I didn't try it.
Yeah, because this could have been a very different seed if that was possible. You would have got like Hookshot and Moonpearl super early.
Yeah, I also thought about just going for it, and if it doesn't work, I would fake flipper. But then we also didn't have Moonpearl, so that would so we could not have gotten a hookshot there, right?
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's not
Unless
possible.
water walk is possible, right? But that not being the case, I guess would have been faster to Moonpearl, but then also would have been a way different seed.
Yeah, we weren't aware or sure if you could do it either, but I think someone in chat was pretty sure that you can. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Chat's always right too. So
yeah,
right.
It was a fun race to watch, and
For sure.
it's nice to hopefully we'll see both of your teams in playoffs.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, that's going to do it. Walter, thanks so much for inviting me into the booth. Always a pleasure. We don't get to do it very often, but I'm glad we got a chance to do some commentary for some excellent runners today.
Yeah, for sure. It was fun.
Thanks for teaching me the ways, Walter. I appreciate it. So we've got a couple races going on. It looks like Malexanthalos versus TT Chaos is going on over on SpeedGaming 4. We got Schulzer versus Nobly going on SpeedGaming number 5 right now. RD Walsh versus Pichu later tonight on SpeedGaming 5, and then Zelga versus Sawyer. Bunch of races today. Hitman versus Telethar. All these races are happening today, so just stay tuned to SpeedGaming for a bunch of good races, and then we've got a bunch of races to finish up week number 6 here as we hit the hump day. So check those all out, and I think that's going to do it. Thanks again to our runners. Make sure you give them a follow. Thanks to Walter, and thanks to SpeedGaming, and we'll see you on the next one.